Today we're gonna talk about Alibaba Data Middle Office. It's weird that this idea is so popular in China, but it is nowhere to search on Google, YouTube, or Quora. It occurred to me that these techniques listed here, hype cycle for ICT in China from Gartner here, are some hidden magics to the whole world. Data Middle Office is one of the coolest magics. Ahead of it, the middle platform, which consists of a data middle office and business middle office, and sometimes AI middle office. Um, yeah, both of them were projected by Alibaba, the internet unicorn in China, and on the top three cloud service providers in the world. Its cloud service are mostly built on data middle office, DMO, and the business middle office, BMO. Okay, let's move on. A little bit information about me. I'm now working on CIO advisory team in KPMG China, Shanghai office. My name is Johnny, and I've been nominated as Microsoft MVP since 2014. I'm also entitled the expert in Alibaba developers community for 2 years. And you can see my Twitter and Facebook at the bottom. I'm going to talk about these topics today. Without further ado, let's get started. These are today's contents. DMO is a new data architecture model benchmarking to Graph, or the detailed contents inside a modern data architecture. You can see it here. This is the data architecture of DingTalk, which is also a product presented by Alibaba. DingTalk facilitated millions of online courses and meetings during COVID-19 in China. Its DMO data middle office consists of universal data platform and data retrieval platform. The former provides aggregate results including sum, count, average, etc. on a certain period of time on the data objects. I mean atomic data, and aggregate them as a sum or count or average, things like that. It also provides prediction based on historical data. The latter, data retrieval platform, provides original data extracted from data lake. This data, no matter aggregated or atomic, supports a well-managed business middle office. Here, this arrow here, the data middle office can support the business middle office. Moreover, it can also support the front office applications, like export directly to the front end applications. And the AI middle office processes non-structural data and give insights to data middle office. It transfers a picture, a video, and extracted the structural data. Say when is this picture took, and how long is this video, and extracted this information and provided the structural data to a data middle office. Because the data density, the information density of a whole picture or a long video is very low, so it's better to extract the information from the raw data of the videos or images, things like that. DMO, data middle office, is now widely accepted in internet and financial business in China. It has been developed into many personalized solutions in different industries. Like here, this is China Unicom, telecommunication company in China. It more focuses in this business. The data middle office focuses more on data asset management and customize the dashboard to customers. And in some financial business, it more focuses on data model development to generate a real-time insights of ongoing like money laundering, like fraudulent tradings. Yeah, and in internet business, like here, no, not this one. Yeah, this one. Yeah. Ali put forward one data, one ID, and well, one service. It integrated all kinds of data. Like, for instance, if the internet company wants to portray a consumer, how it will consume merchandise in the market. He will extract his personal information, his background, his interests, his hobbies to predict his future consuming behaviors. It's not real time, but requires multiple data sets or data marts and data labels to categorize each individual. It is pretty obvious that DMO prospered in China since it was first introduced by Alibaba in 2018. Alibaba even have a whole product set for DMO, from data ETL, storage, processing the data, and the whole display or the exhibition layer, and even the data governance. But how Alibaba got this idea to build up DMO? It all came from Jack Ma's business trip to Supercell in 2015. App Annie recently announced the top 10 most money-making games in the past decade. On this list, Supercell's Clash of Clans and Clash Royale ranked number 1 and number 10 respectively. Okay, back to the PPT. The head of Supercell, the head of Supercell, Ika Pananen, regarded himself as the least powerful CEO in the world. He would always let the team do what they want because they knew better what the customers want. That might be chances that they finally worked out a shit, but it's better for the long term because that enables the team to grow up with customers and the company can sustain the culture. Hananen is clearly uncomfortable with terms like failure. He compared Supercell's team to scientists testing a hypothesis. It may prove to be false, but that result can be as informative and valuable as any other, no matter success or failed. And the same is true of the company's approach to development. Acknowledging that idea, Jack Ma first thing he do after visiting Supercell, he converted Alibaba's business group into business departments so that each department can focus on their specific business and serve the customers in a more personalized way. The other thing was, today's topic, the DMO. In Supercell, data computing data computing layer is separated from data storage layer, which gave data processing more capacities. Um, yeah, which further empowered extracting more value from enterprise data, which then provide the company more insights to the market and to the business itself. On this picture, you can see it here. Amazon S3, this one. Amazon S3 is the storage data layer, and EMR, Amazon EMR, and the Amazon S is the computer layer in Supercell. That data computing layer is what this one, this I framed with a red rectangular, is what Alibaba referred as data middle office in the same year. Okay, how the DMO got prospered in Supercell? Let us see. Like any other startup tech companies, it doesn't need that the company doesn't need too much data storage or data processing. So at first they just query the same game database directly. Okay, and several months later, with the growth of business, the amount of data and the databases increased abruptly. In the second half of 2010, the game database grew 5 terabytes per day and reached 4 petabytes of total size. They had to shard the game database for different market regions and integrate them every day in the data warehouse. At that time, the data warehouse is hosted on premises in their own hosted data center. Mm. Although it started OLAP processing, like we call it here, because it involves ETL, so we call it so-called OLAP. The warehouse ran the ETL itself and even ran the analytic UI on it. At that time, they were using ClickView for graphical presentation of the whole data. Later, more and more regions have their own share of data or their own separated shard of data. It seems that centralized data storage is not a good option for a widely geo-spreaded application. So in 2013, Supercell moved all its databases to AWS S3 because it's cloud hosted. So this database is widely spread across the world. And in the same year, they adopted the AWS Vertica for big data analytics. So at that time, they started to absorb unstructured data. Yeah, and this product had dedicated BI tools installed on separated systems. In that case, analytic or end users didn't need to hit the data warehouse directly. Instead, the BI tool provided them with a customized dashboard for whatever data they were interested in and however they're going to present it. And for internal data scientists, they can look directly into the warehouse for each transaction and work out models for different scenarios. Then later in 2018, it was noticed the data warehouse could no longer support the high density of modeling and indexing algorithms. It then leveraged the data requiring plenty of algorithms, the data that yeah, have higher demand of the underneath capacities. So they move the modeling data or the data require plenty of algorithms to Amazon EMR. Like here, this one, and separated from S3. EMR stands for Elastic MapReduce, which is entitled to more computing capacities than storage. I should say that more and more cloud service providers are focused on separated EMR layer from their storage layer recently. That's the EMR. The EMR can perform faster data processing than S3 did. And the Amazon Athena here and below the EMR, it can provide interactive query service, which to some extent can also offload some processing burdens from S3. So that's the whole story of data architecture evolution in Supercell. The latest news I heard about this company is last year Chinese tech company Tencent took majority control of Supercell. And the latest news I heard about Tencent is Trump signed orders banning US business with Tencent's WeChat. Okay, back to the topic. We can see with the growth of business, data architecture inevitably changes from time to time, especially for internet companies. And they have always the same roadmap for the data architecture evolution. At the very beginning, the company doesn't have many systems. Users can query each single databases for analytic reports. With business expansion, more and more databases come up. then the company, yeah, needs a so-called data warehouse to store all the data, to integrate all databases together and generate analysis across systems. At that stage, DMO it's not a perfect concept, but it at least has its data in place. And at next stage, the data warehouse absorbs multiple data types and offload the analytic jobs from the front end. It is more referred as big data platform because it stores all kinds of data, including streaming data for the enterprise. That's when the DMO has its algorithm or data processing in place. Later, when the data science becomes more and more popular, a specific environment is needed for data modeling, separated from data storing with a specific data computing layer, like in Supercell, it's AWS EMR, right? Is needed for data modeling, separate from data storing, which specific the computing layer more and more model with that EMR, more and more model tests and AI capacities can be built and generates overall insights for businesses. At this stage, DMO finally got all of its three factors: data, algorithm, and computing resources in place. Okay, then the last topic would be what's the future the DMO will look like, and what the future data architecture will look like. To be frank, it is the data quality and the real-time processing that the common data architecture or even the DMO cannot address. So in future, a total event-driven architecture will come in place. First, it is real-time. The end user can see the latest analytic report. Second, since the data or the log is extracted directly from the applications, it presents what the origins look like. Many cloud service providers are devoting themselves to the research on message bus. For example, AWS has Kinesis, Azure has Azure Streaming, Alibaba has RocketMQ. The real-time analytic market is growing fast. It might eventually overturn the relational ETL world one day. Okay, that's all for today's video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.